Welcome to the Lee Etzler Show, a weekly wrap-up and analysis of Churubusco High School Football.
Eagles, what is your profession? Out, out, out.
And now your host, Big Daddy Don Hyatt.
Hi, welcome to Lee Etzler Show. I'm Don Hyatt. This week we'll be talking to the coach about the Eagles' sectional championship win against South Adams. The win is the fourth sectional title in school history and the second in 4 years. The Eagles will play at home this Friday against 12-0 Hagerstown. Also be joined later by senior Jes Percey. So stick around, we'll be right back after this.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to BUSCOnews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. BUSCOnews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there. The Lee Etzler Show is brought to you by the United Way of Whitley County, BUSCOnews.com, and the Churubusco News.
Welcome back. We're here talking to Coach about the Eagles' great sectional championship win over South Adams. Lee, congratulations. You're one step closer to the ultimate goal.
Well, a couple things that are important about that win. First of all, it gets another championship under our belt this year, which is another thing to reward the kids for their hard work for. And second thing is we get to play another week. Looking ahead to any other game other than the one we have this Friday is something we don't really do. But last week's win was important because we get to reward the kids with a championship and we get to play another week. So pretty good win for our program.
Last week you had a little trouble getting started there, but once you got the Eagles in gear, they just kept on rolling and put it right to South Adams.
Yeah, it didn't start off the game real well, and what is the reason for that? I don't really know. I mean, you have different periods throughout any game where momentum's in your favor, and different periods where momentum's not in your favor, and we didn't start off the game real well. Responded well, after a little while we settled down a little bit. Got loosened up, probably starting with Josh Lefevre's long touchdown run, and the little more positive attitude as a result of that. So good win, and it's good to know that our kids fought hard throughout the game, and we told them all year that they're going to be in difficult circumstances, and the beginning of the game was some pretty difficult circumstances, so they responded pretty well.
Speaking of Lefevre, once he made that big run for you, then he seemed to be the one that he pulled you out a couple holes there. He had another touchdown run later on there in the game, and then I ended the game with like 125 yards.
Yeah, well, he did a great job, and we probably in the last couple weeks have gotten away from sharing the ball as much as we probably should have, and they had a couple plays they were geared up to stop, and we needed to open things up a little more, and they were giving us some things with the halfback positions, and he's a pretty dangerous athlete to give the ball to as well. So gave it to him quite a few times to get us out of a little offensive funk that we were in. So he's not a bad football player to do that with. We're confident giving him the ball, and he did some good things for us.
The coaching staff has been stressing the need to play a full game, the full 48 minutes. You want to expand on that a little bit?
Well, it's we talk a lot about expectations going into the game. If we have a certain expectation for how the game is going to go, and that's not a good thing, because if the game is not meeting your expectation, that affects your attitude and that affects how you play. We need to understand going into the game that no matter what happens, and Friday night was a good example of that, no matter what happens with our first offensive series, if we go 3 and out just like we did first offensive series Friday night, does not mean we're not going to move the ball the whole game. It does not determine what our success is going to be for the full length of the game. We need to understand that it's a long game ahead of us. We want to learn how we're attacking people throughout the game. We talked to the offensive lineman about, if you're down blocking on a guy and you take a step to down block him and that didn't get the job done because he either penetrated or he scraped over the top, then we're going to adjust that step the next time you're down blocking. So we talked to our guys about learning throughout the game and understanding that we're not going to get worked up in the positives and the negatives throughout the game. The only expectation we should have is that we do everything that is within our power to become successful. So the result of the previous play, even though that has a lot to play in the attitude of a kid, we need to understand that we need to do our job on the very next play, and then we do our job on that play, it's got a pretty good chance of success. And forget about that play, we got to do our job on the next play. And all of a sudden you break the game down into a bunch of individual plays in which we're going to do the best job we can on each of the individual plays at all 11 positions. Then you don't get wrapped up in the emotion of the game, which you want your kids fired up to play, but emotion can sometimes take away from your mental focus, which we don't want to do. We want to attack them consistently, every single play, and being down 14-0 doesn't mean we're going to lose the game. It means we need to play a little bit better than what we've been playing at this point in time. So good learning experience for our kids. We've had different learning opportunities throughout the season, and I think our kids have taken those in and maintained a pretty good attitude, which probably enabled us to get out of the hole that we were in Friday night.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. We'll be joined by senior Jes Percey.
This is awesome. Great game. Great game. We get to play another week. Sectional championship. What is this? Our fourth in school history.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to BUSCOnews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. BUSCOnews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there. The Lee Etzler Show is brought to you by the United Way of Whitley County, BUSCOnews.com, and the Churubusco News.
Welcome back to Lee Etzler Show. We're here talking with senior Jes Percey. Percey plays wingback and had a great game blocking against South Adams this past week. Jes, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
You guys played a great ball game Friday night to win a title. How's it feel to be part of a championship team?
Feels good knowing that you're a part of a winning team. You're part of something that means something to the town.
Talking to Coach earlier, he said that your blocking has really come around here in the past few weeks, and that that's your you've been helping the team out majorly in that point of the game. How do you feel that with that blocking, how you help the team out?
Well, defense strong points is their inside linebackers, and it being a wingback, that's what our position does, is block the inside linebacker the most in all our plays pretty much. So, Coach really emphasizes, we have to get there, we have to block each and every play. So, throughout the season, I kind of, wasn't very good at it. So I had to practice, and so I'm glad I'm getting better at it.
On offense, you play the wingback position. You got 40 carries for roughly 275 yards. You also play safety on defense. Which side of the ball do you prefer to play?
I don't know. Defense, it's just, I like to hit. But on offense, I get to run and I get to block. So I'd say offense.
Jes, looking ahead at the upcoming week here, you're looking at Hagerstown. You've probably seen a little bit of film on them. What do you see in Hagerstown? What's your thoughts?
Well, we watched film today, and they're pretty big, very physical. They got a big offensive line. Defensive line's just as big. They're not as big as we've seen, but they're faster, they're quicker. But they get to regionals, they got to be good. So we got to practice this week and got to keep watching film. So.
Okay. This being your second season only at BUSCO, you've done an outstanding job. What's it like playing for Coach Etzler and for the Churubusco program?
It's good. I get throughout the week people I don't know come up to me and say, "Hey, you're Jes Percey. You play for BUSCO," and so it feels good to be part of the team. Everyone knows you. They know you're part of a winning program. So this feels really good.
We want to thank Senior Jes Percey for stopping by today and sharing his thoughts on BUSCO football. Stay with us. We'll be right back to talk to Coach Etzler about the Hagerstown game.
Hey, I'm Jes Percey, and you're watching the Lee Etzler Show.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
The Lee Etzler Show is brought to you by the United Way of Whitley County, BUSCOnews.com, and the Churubusco News.
Welcome back. We're here talking to Coach Etzler about the regional championship game this Friday night against Hagerstown. Lee, what do you know about the Tigers?
Well, first and foremost, they just won a sectional and they're playing in the regional championship. So any team that gets to this point is going to be, a force to be reckoned with. So we understand anybody we play at this point in the season is going to be a tough task. Getting film over the weekend and watching them, they're very physical. They have some, talking about them offensively, they have some size up front. They've had a lot of success pushing people around. They mix things up between the run and the pass. They'll run the ball more than they throw it. They have a couple pretty dangerous running backs. Their fullback has 1,100 yards and however many touchdowns, and they also have a halfback who's a smaller kid, I think 135 pounds, but very, very quick, very good balance. He'll get smacked around and put his hand on the ground and spin out of it. And if we don't wrap him up and grab cloth when we make the tackle, then he's gonna be difficult for us to deal with. Their coach, Coach Fallis, has been around a long time. I think this is his 33rd year of coaching. Got a chance to meet him a couple years ago. Very respectable guy, and very confident that it's a first-class program he runs over there. It'll be an interesting football game. The biggest thing for us, we need to match their physicality. If we don't show up to play, they're going to push us around up front, and then we're in a situation where we don't stop them on defense, and they keep the ball moving, and they keep the clock running, and they keep our offense off the field, and that's probably the most dangerous thing for us. So it should be a pretty interesting ball game.
We want to thank Coach Etzler for taking the time and talking with us each and every week. We remind you to watch the Lee Etzler Show every Thursday night at 7:30 right here on BUSCOnews.com. I'm Don Hyatt. We'll see you next week.
This has been the Lee Etzler Show, brought to you every Thursday night at 7:30 by BUSCOnews.com.